Hello everyone, this is Unit 3 of Agri 4 and Management 3, Financial Statements and Ratio Analysis. So before we will discuss how to do ratio analysis, it is important for us to review what are the 4 key financial statements. I know that you have already discussed this in your accounting. Okay, sige. So the 4 key financial statements class that is required by the Securities and Exchange Commission or the SEC are the income statement, the balance sheet, the statement of stockholders' equity, and the statement of cash flow. So let's discuss each of this. The first is the income statement. The income statement class, it provides a financial summary of the firm's operating results during a specified period, okay? So financial statements is only showing to you the performance of the company on a specific period, okay? For example, 1 year. Kasagaran gid ani is 1 year. Okay, so it also usually ends at a specified date, ordinarily on December 31 of the calendar year. So there are 2 types of years in an accounting terms class. It could be calendar year, meaning January to December 31, or it could also be a fiscal year. It is a 12-month cycle nga wala siya nag-end og December 31. For example, ang school year, it starts at August and ends at July. So that is a fiscal year. Okay, so here is an example class of income statement of Barley Company. This is a comparative income statement. Ngano comparative man siya? It compares the income of the company on year 2012 and 2011. Okay, so ato ning isa-isa ho ning kani siya nga column unsa na siya ang iyahang ginapakita. Okay? So first item in the income statement is the sales revenue. Unsa man ning sales revenue? Kung sa Bisaya pa, halin. Okay? So kung mamaligya ka, pila to imong nahalin, that is your sales revenue. Less the cost of goods sold. Unsa man ang cost of goods sold? Mao ni ang amount sa imong gikumpra. Okay? O pwede pod apil diri ang katong transportation nga imuhang nagasto para sa pagpangumpra. For example, ning palit ka og ballpen tag 7, gibaligyan nimo og tag Gs, imong sales revenue is Gs, ang imong cost of goods sold is 7. Okay? So that is your cost of goods sold or the COGS. So sales revenue minus the cost of goods sold, you will get your gross profit or gross nga halin. Okay? Gross nga di halin, ginansya. Okay? So mo na siya imong gross profit. But kanang imong gross profit plus, di ba gina siya mao imong ginansya? Napadyo kay i-minus ana, imong operating expenses. Unsa man ning operating expenses? These are the expenses of the company nga kinahanglan siya nga mga gasto para sa pag-operate sa imuhang company. Example, selling expense. Unsa man ning selling expense? Marketing expense. Okay? So mo na siya. General and administrative expense, mga salaries, unsa pa din ang gasto in relation to the pagbaligya sa imuhang products or services. Lease expense. Lease expense is your rent expense. Depreciation expense class, this is the amount of your asset na nag-depreciate. So, may depreciation. Almost all assets class except land and jewel or gold, mugamay gid yang value. Kanang paggamay sa value sa asset, that is depreciation. For example, ning palit ka og cellphone nga tag 4,000. After 1 year, kung ibaligyan nimo na imong cellphone, dili gyud na siya tag 4,000 gihapon. Mugamay gyud na yang value, mo depreciate. Let's say for example, every year mo depreciate siya og 500. So for 1 year, gipalit nimo 2010, pagka 2011, ning depreciate na ang imuhang cellphone og 500. So pwede nimo siya mabaligya og 3,500 na lang. Kaya ang iyang depreciation expense for 1 year is 500. Okay? That is depreciation expense. So when you add your selling expense, general and administrative expense, lease, depreciation, and other expenses class, that is your total operating expense. Kanang sa imong electricity, tubig, that is part of your operating expenses. Okay? So gross profit less the operating expense nga naara dire 568. So your operating profit imong ginansya minus nga operating expense minus lang operating expense is mo na ning operating profit. But dili pa gid siya mo imong ginansya class. What if nag-loan ka para makasugod ka sa imong negosyo? If mag-loan ka, na kay interest nga bayaran, 'di ba? So your operating profit minus pa sa imong interest expense sa imong giloan, then you will get the net profit before taxes. That is your net profit sa wala pa na minusan og tax. But if you are a corporation, kailangan man jud ka magbayad og tax. Usually in the Philippines it's 32%, 'di ba? Okay, so minusan pa gid na og tax. Taxes usually class are percentage of the net profit before taxes. Okay? So taxes, net profits before taxes minus taxes, you will get now the net profit after taxes. Mao na gini siya ang pinaka ginansya sa imuhang company. Okay? So if you can see, mas dako og ginansya si Barley sa 2012 kaysa sa 2011. If you are a corporation class, usually kanang imong ginansya, imo na siyang i-dividend, i-distribute nimo sa imong mga stockholders. Unsa gani ning stockholders? These are the owners of the corporation. Some corporations na two types of stockholders, the preferred stockholder and the common stockholder. Kinsa man si preferred stockholder? If naay dividends ang organization, una makadawat si preferred stockholder. Okay? But dili ni sila tag-iya jud sa corporation. Ang pinakatag-iya gyud sa corporation is si common stockholder. But again, if naay dividends, una makadawat si preferred stockholder. Okay? So gipakita diri class nga naay dividends gihatag sa preferred stockholders nga $10,000 in 2012. Mga 10,000 man. Take note diri class the amounts here are in $1,000. Meaning kana tanan nga amounts dugangan nimo og tulo ka zero. Okay? Sige. So, net profit after taxes minus the preferred stock dividends, you will get the earnings available for common stockholders. Nganong gitawag siya nga earnings available for common stockholder? Mauning kaning 221,000, mao na lang niya ang available sa common stockholders na pwede nila nga i-dividend. Okay? Sige. So, muna siyang ending sa income statement. Then, from the information diri sa income statement, we can now solve the earnings per share, which we already discussed last time, and the dividends per share. Unsa man gani ning EPS, na diri sa ubos class o ang notes, giyon sa niya pag-calculate ang letter B man ang EPS. Giyon sa niya pag-calculate ang earnings per share sa 2012. That is 221,000. Sa aha man nagika ng 221,000, that is the earnings available for common stockholders divided by the number of shares of common stock outstanding. Asa man ni makita, you will see this later in the balance sheet. Okay? Sige. Sa dividends per share pod class sa 2012, ang i-dividend sa common stockholder is 98. Asa man nagika ng 98,000, ma'am? Given na siya. Okay? That is an information that is given. Okay, so that is the income statement. The next financial statement is the balance sheet. Okay, the balance sheet class, it presents a summary statement of the firm's financial position at a given time. Okay, so kung si income statement class, it shows the performance of the company on a specific period like 1 year. Si balance sheet, ginapakita niya ang financial position sa isa ka organization from pagsugod niya hangtod ana nga year kung kanusa siya naghimo og balance sheet. So for example, si Barley naghimo siya balance sheet on December 31, 2011. So kanang information nga makita nimo sa December 31, 2011 nga balance sheet, mo na siya ang total from pagsugod ni Barley hangtod sa December 31, 2012. Okay? So, cumulative na siya. Okay, sige. So, unsa man nga mga information ang atong makita sa balance sheet? The balance sheet class has three main parts. We have the assets, liabilities, and equity. Diba in accounting, we learned the accounting formula which is asset is equal to liabilities plus equity, or assets minus liability is equal to equity. Okay? Kana siya nga accounting formula class, mauna gina-follow sa balance sheet. Sige. This is the balance sheet of Barley Company. It is also a comparative balance sheet showing the amounts for 2011 and 2012. The first part of the balance sheet is the assets. Unsa maning assets? This is what the company owns. Tanan nga mga butang pinag-iyahan ni Barley Company mao na ang assets. Okay? There are two types of assets class. We have the current assets and the non-current assets, or the next net fixed assets. When we say current assets, these are assets that are convertible to cash within 1 year. Sa may example ani, cash. So ang cash na gyud na siya. Marketable securities, these are bonds or treasury bills na pwede siya ma-convert to cash within 1 year. Accounts receivable, these are sales sa company nga wala gibayaran og cash but masingil ra siya within 1 year. Inventories, these are the stocks sa company nga wala nahalin but is expected to be sold within 1 year. So, ma-convert ra gyapon siya to cash within 1 year. Okay, so mo to siya ang current assets. Ang non-current assets or net fixed assets, these are assets nga dili siya dali ma-convert into cash within 1 year. Sometimes it takes more than 1 year. Example, land, building, machinery, equipment, furniture, vehicles, mo na siya ang kasagaran sa non-current assets or the net fixed assets. Okay. Remember I told you gaina sa income statement class that assets, especially net fixed assets, mo depreciate na sila class, mo gamay ilang value. So nakita nato diri nga natay total gross fixed assets. So mo na siya ang total nga kani siya nga mga amount, mo gid na siya ang bayran sa ni Barley para mauna nga mga asset. Ning gasto siya 2,072,000 para ma-own tanan niya nga land and buildings, 1,866,000 para ma-own tanan machinery and equipment, and so on. So mo na siya ang total gross fixed assets at cost. Let's say for example nagsugod si Barley sa year 2000. Sa year 2012, ang vehicle ni Barley nga 275,000, gipalit niya 275,000 sa year 2000, mabaligya ka gyapon niya og 275,000 sa 2012? Again, the answer is no, because an asset usually depreciates except sa land ug sa gold. Okay. So, mao na siya nga naa ni class nga item, less the accumulated depreciation. And kaning accumulated depreciation class, this is a counter asset. Unsa man ang counter asset? I-minus ni siya sa imuhang assets. Okay? Mao ni siya ang part sa assets nga nag-depreciate, nag-accumulate nga nag-depreciate. Ma'am, unsay kalahian ni depreciation expense ug ni accumulated depreciation? Now, remember the example I gave gaina, the cell phone. Nagipalit na to siya 4,000 sa 2010. Pila to yung depreciation kada tuig? It's 500 pesos. Okay? Unsa may kalahian ni depreciation expense sa accumulated depreciation? Gipalit og 2010. After 1 year, 2011, pila may gidepreciate ni sa cellphone? That is 500 pesos. So, ang depreciation expense na makita sa income statement sa 2011 is $500. Sa balance sheet class, magbutang po ta sa accumulated depreciation, which is $500 po kay 1 year pa man. 500 pa man ang nag-depreciate. On year 2, on 2012, pila man ang depreciation expense? Sa 2012 class, the depreciation expense is also 500. Kaya again, ang ginapakita lang ni depreciation expense is ang depreciation ana nga period or ana nga tuig. Now, sa accumulated depreciation sa 2012, pila man ang accumulated depreciation? Diba sa year 1, ang accumulated depreciation is 500. Sa year 2, ang accumulated depreciation is 1,000 na. Nga naman, 500 sa year 1 plus 500 sa year 2, so ang accumulated depreciation is 1,000 na. accumulated, meaning pila nay natapo nga depreciation as of year 2012, bali 1,000 na. On 2013, the depreciation expense nga makita sa income statement is again 500 pesos gyapon because income statement para lang siya ana nga period. And si Barley balance sheet on 2013, pila naman ang accumulated depreciation. That will now be 1,500. Okay? Mo na siya ang kalahian ni income statement ug ni balance sheet. Ang si income statement para lang gid ana nga tuig or nga period, while si balance sheet ginapakita niya ang balances sa assets from year 0 up to the current year. Okay? And that is also the difference between depreciation expense and accumulated depreciation. So, total gross fixed asset minus the accumulated depreciation, you will get your net fixed asset. So, total current assets plus the net fixed assets, you will get your total assets. That is for the first part of the balance sheet, which is the asset. The second part of the balance sheet is the liabilities. Okay. Unsa ganining mga liabilities? These are utang. Utang ni Barley, what the company owes. Okay. So, si liabilities class, napod siya 2 types. The current liabilities and the non-current liabilities or the long-term debt. Kung maingon tag current liabilities, mo ni ang mga utang ni Barley nga dapat niya bayaran within 1 year. Example, accounts payable. Unsa man ang accounts payable? Mga utang sa gipalit niya nga stocks or inventories. Okay? Notes payable, this is the utang kanang mga ginautang sa bangko, okay, financial institutions nga payable within 1 year. Unsa man ni accruals? Accruals are mga services nga na-enjoy na ni Barley but wala pa niya nabayaran. For example, services sa iyang mga empleyado. For example, sa month sa May, di ba, December 31, 2012, sa month sa November, syempre, nagtrabaho ang mga empleyado, pero wala pa niya nabayaran. Katong wala niya nabayaran niya sweldo, that is now part of the accrual, meaning utang ni Barley sa iyahang mga empleyado. Okay? Another example, for example, nag-hire si Barley og lawyer by November or by December, pero wala pa niya nabayaran. Hangtod nag-December 31, 2012 na lang. So, katong amount na utang niya sa lawyer, sa service sa lawyer, that is part of the accruals. Another example pagid sa accrual class, kuryente, bill sa kuryente, nga wala pa nimo nabayaran as of December 31, paghimo nimo aning balance sheet, that is part of your accruals. Services nga na-enjoy na nimo, but wala pa nimo nabayaran. So, those are total current liabilities. So, when you say long-term debt class or non-current liabilities, mao ni siya itong mga utang nga payable for more than 1 year. Okay? So, your total current liabilities plus your long-term debt, that will equal to your total liabilities. Okay, so muna siya ang second part sa balance sheet. The third part of the balance sheet is the stockholders' equity. The stockholders' equity class, naani siya upat ka main parts. So, kung naa kay preferred stockholder, naa kay preferred stock. Kung naa kay common stockholders, naa kay common stock. The first part here is the preferred stock. Mao ni siya ang number of stocks nga nahalin or na imuhang nabaligya sa mga preferred stockholder. Okay? So, it amounts to $200,000. Kaning preferred stock class, for example, si Mr. A, preferred stockholder siya. Nagpalit siya og 1,000 shares at $100 par. Unsa man ang $100 par? That is the par value of the stock. So, pila may gibayaran ni Mr. A? 100 times 1,000 shares, so 100,000. Katong 100,000, muna na siya part diri Nahimo na to siyang capital ni Barley. Okay? Unsa man ni cumulative 5%? Meaning class, aning cumulative 5%, si Mr. A, nga naa siya 100,000 nga stocks, nga preferred stocks sa iyang company, kung makadawat og dividends ang preferred stockholder, that will be 5% sa iyahang gi-invest. Meaning, 100,000 yung gi-invest, pila man ang 5%, ana, that is 5,000. So, kung mag-announce si Barley og dividend, so una man makadawat ang preferred stockholder, makadawat si Mr. A og $5,000. Okay? Next is the common stock, para ni sa mga true owners sa corporation. If you are a true owner of the corporation, you should have common stock. Okay? Pila man ang par value sa common stock? That is $2.50. Okay. Unsa man ning 100,000 shares authorized? Mao ni ang number of shares nga gi-allow si Barley nga ibaligya for capital. Na siya 100,000 nga common stocks nga authorized, napod siya 200,000 nga preferred stock nga pwede niya ibaligya. Ang preferred stock ni Barley nga 2,000 shares nga gi-authorize, issued tanan, meaning nabaligya tanan. Okay? Ang common stock ni Barley nga 100,000, pila man ang na-issued o outstanding. Sa 2011, 76,244 ang nahalin nga common stock. And sa 2012, 76,262 ang nahalin nga common stock. Remember that the par value is $2.50. Okay. So, mo ni siya class na 191,000. Mo na siya ang mga capital gyud ni Barley. Okay? So, di ba class, if mo palit ta og stock an nga corporation, katong kwarta nga gibayad nato sa corporation, that will form part of their capital or equity. Okay. Now, another part class of the stockholders' equity is the paid-in capital in excess of par on common stock. Kaning common stock class ni Barley nga gipresyo niya $2.50, dili ko sabot ana nga pag mupalit ka is 2.50 lang gid imong bayaran. Na mga times class, especially kung nindot ang performance sa company nga mudako ang ihang share price. Lahi ang par value sa share price ha. For example, at year 2011, nindot kaayo ang performance ni Barley. Pwede niya ibaligya iyang common stock og $6. Okay? So, $6 iyang ibaligya. Pero pila naman ang par value? It's only 2.50. So, sa $6, ang 2.50 adto, part siya sa common stock. Okay? Okay, so for example, nipalit ka sa shares ni Barley, 1,000 shares. Nya, $6 ang share price. So, sa 1,000 shares, di ba, $6 imuhang gibayran. Pero ang par value is only $2.5. So, 1,000 times 2.5 is equal to 2,500. So, ang imong tinuod nga gibayaran, 1,000 times $6 nga imong gibayaran. So, ang imong gibayad jud kay Barley is $6,000. Ang 2.5 adto class, part siya sa common stock. Dili siya i-add sa 191. Okay? Asa man ang sobra adto ma'am nga, pila may sobra sa 6,000 minus 2.5? 3.5. Ang 3.5 nga sobra adto is part diri sa paid-in capital in excess of par. Part siya sa capital, sobra sa par value sa common stock. Okay? So, mao na siya ang kaninga part, paid-in capital in excess of par. Next part of the stockholders' equity class is the retained earnings. Unsa man ning retained earnings? This is the income of the company nga wala gi-distribute as dividend. Okay? Example, by 2011, naakoy 5 million nga income. Nay 5 million nga income si Barley. Pero ang 5 million, 2 million lang iyang gi-dividend. Okay? Kanang 2 million mo na tunga-tungaon sa iyahang mga stockholders. So, naay 3 million nga sobra. Katong 3 million nga gipabilin sa company, wala gi-dividend, that is part of the retained earnings. Meaning, katong 3 million, gi-retain siya sa company. Nganong gi-retain man to ma'am? Nganong wala man siya gihatag sa stockholders? Kaya syempre, gamiton to para pa-rolling na po. Para, mo to'y gamiton para padayon ang operation sa company. So, mo to siya ang different parts sa stockholders equity. Ma'am, unsa ba ni stockholders equity? The stockholders equity class is the part of the assets or the portion of the assets nga gi-contribute sa owners. Okay? For example, class, ang total asset ni Barley is 3,597,000. Sa 3,597,000 class, ang 1 million, anyara, sa 3,597,000, 1,643,000 ana is inutang. Okay? But, 1,954,000 ana is gi-contribute sa mga owners sa corporation. Okay? Gi-contribute ang nga capital. That is the stockholders' equity. Okay, so that is for the balance sheet. Balik ta class gaina sa DPS o sa EPS. Yun sa ito pag-solve, di ba? Earnings per share, 221,000, gikan diri divided by 76,262, that is the number of shares of common stock outstanding nga makita sa balance sheet. Sa ganing na dapat makita, nyara. 76,262 in 2012, 76,244 in 2011. Ang sa preferred stock, nyara, mo na siya. Okay? Let's now go to the third financial statement, which is the statement of retained earnings for the year ended December 31, 2012. Okay. So, giunsa man pagkuha ning tanaw na to si 2012 sa balance sheet ha. Di ba atong retained earnings is 1,135,000 for 2012. Giunsa man na pag-solve si retained earnings para mo result siya into 1,135,000. So this is how. Your retained earnings balance by January 1, 2012, which is 1,012,000. Managi ka ng 1,012,000. Modo na siya ang balance sa retained earnings sa January 1, 2012. Pangitaon nato na si 1,012,000. Niyara siya. This is the retained earnings sa December 31, 2011, which is also the balance of retained earnings pagka January 1 sa 2012. Okay. Plus, the net profit after taxes for 2012, which is $231,000. Asa man na makita si net profit after taxes? Sa income statement or sa balance sheet? That is sa income statement. Man to si 231,000. Here it is. The net profit after taxes. So, i-plus ni mo na siya sa retained earnings balance sa January 1, 2012. Okay? Ano to? Muna siya. Minus the cash dividends during 2012. Asa man ni makita ning cash dividends during 2012? Ang preferred stock na ay cash dividends nga $10,000. Si common stock na ay cash dividend nga $98,000. Asa man nagikan? Naana siya sa balance sa income statement. Here it is. The preferred stock dividends of $10,000. Ang 98 nga common stock dividend is na diri sa notes. Here it is. The 98,000 nga dividends for the common stock. So, 98 plus 10 is ang total dividends nga gibayaran sa company is 108,000. So, the retained earnings sa January 1, 2012 plus the net profit after taxes sa 2012 nga 231,000 minus the dividends nga gibayad sa company sa preferred o common stockholders. So, ang retained earnings balance by December 31, 2012 should be 1,135,000. And if you look at the balance sheet class, that is correct. 1,135,000. That is the statement of retained earnings. Okay. The fourth type of financial statement is the statement of cash flows. In every organization's class, we have cash flows. It could be cash inflow, cash nga mosulod sa company, or cash outflow, cash nga mogawa sa company. There are three main types of cash flows in an organization. Number one is cash flow from operating activities. Number two is cash flow from investment activities. And number three is cash flow from financing activities. dili na nako i-discuss og maayo ang statement of cash flow because that is a special chapter sa next chapters nga atong i-discuss. Okay? So, mo lang na siya, overview lang siya sa statement of cash flow. So, that is the part 1 of Unit 3 of Agri 4 and Management 3. So, this time, you'll have to answer assignment 3.1. Okay? So, here is assignment 3.1 class. Financial statement account identification. You mark each of the accounts listed in the following table as follows. In column 1, you indicate in which statement, whether it is an income statement or balance sheet. So, kung income statement na siya, you write IS. If balance sheet, you write BS. In column 2, you indicate whether the account is a current asset, you write CA. If it is a current liability, you write CL. If it is an expense account, you write E. If it is a fixed asset, you write FA. If it is a long-term debt, you write LTD. If it is a revenue, you write R. Or if it is a part of the stockholders' equity, you write SE. So, that is assignment 3.1. If you have any questions, you can ask me during the Discord live. If you don't have any questions, then I will be the one to ask you. Okay? So, that's it. And thank you for listening. Have a good day.